Baby, don't get too close to the fire. I might get burned a little, but I don't mind. I need your love. Baby, I need you. You've got those rosy lips.
I mean, I've been jamming to Old Country Still Rocks.
Oh, good, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Me and my buddy built a fire the other night up here. I live in the mountains, and I said, hey, Wade Hayes has a new album out. and so we listened to Old Country Still Rocks, and man,
well, I hope you like some of it at least.
Oh, it was awesome. You kidding?
Well,
I mean, the production, everything is just so solid. You know?
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Well,
tell me about it. What put you back in the studio?
Well, this was I'm all the time still writing songs, and this was a song I heard somebody say this a year or two ago. Old Country Still Rocks, and I thought, man, that is a freaking song title if I've ever heard one. So
yeah,
I wrote the song, and I thought, well, what am I going to do with this? I've got about enough songs written to do another album of originals, but I thought, I've always wanted to do a covers album as well.
Yeah.
Well, I thought this might be a pretty good way to get into that, and just do this one original tune on the record and do the rest covers. So that's how it came about.
Oh man, and the covers, the ones you picked are my favorite is Slow Hand.
That's my favorite one on the record. I think that one and Milk Cow Blues are my two favorites.
Yeah, well, I forgot about the song Milk Cow Blues until I saw it on the record. So putting together an album like this, and the cool thing about the title of it, and I'm sure you did it on purpose, Old Country Still Rocks.
Yeah.
Not only is it an awesome song, but it just encapsulates every song on the album.
Man, it's funny. The last couple of years, everybody from my era, the '90s, has really just gotten super popular and super busy again.
Yeah.
And thank goodness, it's been really an awesome time the last couple of years, and it's not slowing down. This year's busy too, and thank God for that.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of young folks that grew up listening to my stuff, riding around with their old man in the pickup truck, and it's nostalgic for them. And I'm tickled to death about it. It's sometimes a hard pill to swallow that I'm not a kid anymore, but I love it, and I love it that young folks are kind of nostalgic about that stuff, and it's a lot of fun.
Do you see? Because I know, like, Old Enough to Know Better is still on rotation on mini radio.
Folks still play that all over the country, and I'm so thankful for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you at the shows? Do you see? Another generation that comes that you're like, I know you weren't born when I had this song out.
I love it, and to see folks singing it and they recognize the song, and it really means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. That song was just such. That's when my life really, really changed. That song changed everything, and changed it very quickly too.
Yeah. It's how long were you in Nashville at the time?
Oh yeah, I had been there. I moved there at the tail end of '92 or '93, somewhere around there.
Oh, okay.
And,
right.
Got a job playing lead guitar for Johnny Lee.
Oh yeah.
Quickly. Okay. And I got a job building houses too. That's what I grew up doing. My dad was a contractor, so that's what I grew up doing. So I was doing both things, and that's kind of where Old Enough to Know Better came from. It's a true story, but I hadn't been in Nashville very long, and I got that job with Johnny, and people in the record industry started coming out to hear me play, and it just happened so quickly, and it was just what a blessing it was.
Yeah, I guess for those watching the show, this show, you are you're a lead guitar player like no other, right? I mean, I know you don't want to brag on yourself, but that's a passion of yours, isn't it?
Well, that's what I came to Nashville to do. I wasn't supposed to be the guy in the center of the stage. I still don't feel like that was my true calling, but it just worked out that way.
Yeah.
And, I came to town to play guitar for somebody. I wanted to be somebody's right-hand man, like Don Rich was to Buck Owens or something like that. That's what I had in mind. And I wanted to kind of write songs and learn how to write songs. And we just ended up writing Old Enough to Know Better and I'm Still Dancing With You really, really quickly. And as soon as I got my writing deal, which I was only in town a few months when that happened.
That's
and
wild.
We got a record deal right after that. So it just happened really fast, too fast, really.
Yeah. I mean, that's very fast for
I was a kid. I was way too young for that to be happening.
Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in Oklahoma.
Okay. Did your parents get you into lessons early, or how'd that even come about?
Man, I honestly, I taught myself how to play. My dad was in a band, and I grew up, just in awe of those guys, watching him.
Okay.
And so eventually, I picked up the guitar, and I got okay at it, and I started playing guitar for him, and that's kind of where my comfort zone. That's my comfort zone. That's the first thing I did.
What was he playing? What was his style of music? Country?
He was into that's where, honestly, you'd mentioned Slow Hand.
Yeah.
The Conway tune.
Yeah.
That era of country, he and I were playing honky tonks, and I started playing honky tonks full time when I was 14 years old. And so that I played that song Slow Hand a million times with him. So that's why that song had to be on the record. And so that's why. Anyway, I get sidetracked. You'll have to.
No, I love it. Keep going.
In. So it's fun.
No,
Forgive me if I get sidetracked.
No, I get sidetracked too. I probably interrupted you a while ago. I love hearing the like. I had Terry McBride on the show a couple weeks ago, and he was playing. I know, man. He was playing the honky tonks with his dad before he was out of high school.
Oh yeah,
and so those stories just intrigue me, man.
Yeah, Terry's one funny dude. He's a good friend of mine.
Is he?
Oh my God.
Oh, I love him, man.
Oh, he is one of the funniest, most fun to be around people I've ever met in my life. And I
had him on, man, and for an hour he just sat and we laughed, we talked. He told stories, and
he's funny. And man, he's got a million stories too.
Oh, that's cool that y'all are buddies, because I am a 90s nerd, man, and I tell everybody that. That's when I grew up, and that's what got me into this crazy stuff, and I absolutely love 90s country, and
90s music. I will tell you, I'd love to hear you say that, because 90s music, it was like the perfect storm.
Oh man,
of songwriters and musicians. The new style of musician.
Yeah.
You have Lonnie Wilson, Brent Mason, Glenn Worf. Those guys were the mainstays on records.
Yep.
And they changed the way country sounded, and it was huge. All the Brooks and Dunn records that, just that sound. All of my records those guys were on. Michael Rhodes is another one that was a big. John Jarvis. Those guys were, they changed the face of country music, and it was an explosion. The way it sounded,
man,
and it was amazing. And that is my favorite era. It just sounds so good.
Yeah,
so many great singers came about then.
Golly.
Like Diffie Chestnut, Vince Gill, Ronnie Dunn, huge artists. They got big in the 90s, and it was a big deal.
Oh man,
proud to be a part of it.
It was like that across the board in the 90s. You had 90s rock, you're not 90s pop, 90s country.
Yep, I agree completely.
I mean, it's huge. They're still touring. Like not only are 90s artists country, it's on. I mean, it is a resurgence. It's huge.
Oh, it is.
But I see a lot of these '90s pop stars that are doing pop reunion tours, and they're selling out. So
hey man, I ran into. Do you remember a group called Better Than Ezra?
yes, oh
Yeah, I
definitely.
liked those guys a lot, and I ran into Kevin a year or two ago on an airplane, and I was talking to him about when this kind of resurgence started,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Man, we're busy as hell too." It's just everybody from that era got really really busy. So
It's crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy.
I love to hear it. That's great music.
I had another one of your buddies. I just thought of this last week. I had another one of your buddies on the show, Brian White.
Hey, yeah, Brian is a friend of mine and has become a dear friend over the last few years. Actually, this weekend, Brian is being inducted into the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And he called and asked me to be his inductee. So
well, he did. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I got inducted a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And he called up when he heard that he was being inducted. He called and asked me to do his induction. So I said, of course I will. Yeah, be glad.
Man.
Well, I'm heading to Oklahoma this weekend to do that. Tulsa.
What is it? What is that like? The Hall of Fame for Oklahoma. What did that mean to you? I mean, it's pretty special.
It really is, and just to be recognized. I honestly, I did not feel worthy of that that title or that recognition, but I was very very thankful somebody thought enough of me to do that.
Yeah.
And, it's funny. I keep looking at you instead of looking at the camera. I'm sorry about that.
No,
I'm new. So anyway, it really was. It was overwhelming, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it was hard to take it all in. And it was a sincere pleasure. And I'm actually looking forward to Brian's induction more because I want to hang out and visit with people and have fun. When I was inducted, I was inducted with the Turnpike Troubadours, and Troubadours and I both did a concert that night, and I had to leave immediately to get my band back to the airport, and it sucked. I didn't get to enjoy that evening, and it was a lot of pressure because I had a gig I had to get to, and I had to get my band to back home. So anyway, so I'm kind of looking forward to this to maybe take it easy and relive my evening and celebrate Brian's evening too. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, because in Texas, I know there's Texas, they're proud of their red dirt country.
Oh yeah.
So does Oklahoma have a special niche like that, or because it crosses over into Texas some, don't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
red dirt music is that's Oklahoma stuff.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
It's the same deal. It's that whole area. And red dirt is kind of that's what Oklahoma is known for.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
because
it's funny. I grew up in a little bitty town called Bethel Acres, which is next door to a town called Pink, and this is how red the dirt is in Oklahoma. So this little town of Pink was named Pink because back then everybody had well water. We all lived out in the country.
Yeah.
And you go to washing your whites and they'd come out pink. So
is that a true story?
Yes, it's a true story. So that's how red the dirt is in Oklahoma. So that's where that whole red dirt thing came from.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool because I know a lot of the Texas musicians and they cross, they travel, they tour those.
Oh yeah.
That area. So
it's that whole area down there.
Yeah. That's awesome. I honestly, the past few years, I've just gotten into a lot of that. Is it red dirt country? Is that what kind of? Yeah. And some of the artists, of course, some of them I know. Like Terry's on a couple of the charts, or on one of the charts right now.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he's getting inducted in a couple of weeks, or is it this last weekend of February? I think the Texas Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ronnie is inducting him.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Ronnie's from Oklahoma, but he's actually from Texas as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So growing up in that area, I grew up on Wellwater too. But growing up in that area, I guess, do you still have family there and friends? Or
yes, I do. My Both of my sisters and my mother are still there. I lost my dad in 2020.
Okay.
And, but the rest of my family is still there. And I still have some great friends there. And
cool.
I love to go back when I can.
Yeah. What was high school like? Was football a main thing? Like,
we had such a small school. We didn't even have football until I was a senior.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We had baseball and basketball. And we had just gotten track in, and then football. We finally got football when I was a senior.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't get to enjoy any of that. But I was I was not gifted athletically. So, I had to find something else.
Well,
I'm a taller dude, but I really was clumsy and I sucked at sports. So I'd show up sometimes, and most of the time I wouldn't. So,
well, throughout high school, you were playing in the clubs,
every weekend. I was playing, 2 to 4 nights a week, every weekend.
Did your buddies think that was a cool thing, or did you ever miss out on hanging out on the weekends?
I did. I missed out on a lot of stuff, but I'll tell you what, you can be critical of a kid being in a honky tonk, but I will tell you this: my dad knew where I was every weekend.
Amen.
And I stayed out of trouble, and I was always working, and as long as I kept my grades up, he'd let me stay out late and picking in them honky tonks, and I did, and stayed out of trouble and made good grades, and it actually worked out pretty good. So
heck yeah.
I've gotten to make a living playing guitar and writing songs, and I'm very thankful for that.
What were they like when you wanted to make the move at first to Nashville?
They were very supportive.
Yeah.
I knew that I had been in college 4 years and paying for it myself.
Okay.
And with, scholarships, loans, whatever I could get a hold of, and, whatever, selling my blood, whatever, it sucked back then. And I was over it. I'd been in 4 years and I knew it was not for me.
So you went to college for 4 years. Okay.
Oh yeah. And finally, I was really, really struggling. And that's a very difficult age for young men. Mm-hmm. 18, 19, 20 is tough. You're trying to find your way. I know it is for all kids, but it's especially tough on young men. We're supposed to know what we're doing, and most of us don't at that age. And I knew I was tired of the struggle in college and just didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. I was working all the time and going to school all the time. And I remember watching the CMA Awards. I think it was 1992.
Good year.
Yeah, and Ricky Skaggs was on there, and this is the moment that changed my life, and this is a true story.
Heck yeah.
Ricky Skaggs, for some reason, whatever reason, I was really, really struggling at this time and wondering what to do and looking for an answer and praying for an answer. Mm-hmm. And Ricky Skaggs just, for whatever reason, says all you artists out there, or young artists, musicians are struggling out there, you need to stick with it because that's what you're called to do. Mm. He said those words, and I knew he was talking to me.
Wow.
And I started making moves. It hit me, literally, it changed my life. It gave me direction. I started making plans immediately to get to Nashville. And
wow.
I knew that I could sleep in my truck if I had to. I didn't have a wife. I didn't have children. I didn't have anything. And so I went for it. And thank God I did.
Yeah. It didn't take long.
I was very, very fortunate.
That blows my mind. 3 months.
It's crazy.
And then you get your publishing deal. That just don't happen.
Yeah, I mean, we wrote 2 #1 songs. Immediately.
Yeah.
Crazy. I don't know what was going on. But
was I'm Still Dancing on the first record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's we had 5 singles off that first record.
Yeah, that's what I know, man. I'll tell you, when I say I'm a nerd of 90s, I know stuff. I know the weirdest stuff.
I appreciate that.
Now, one of my favorite Wade Hayes songs is What I Meant to Say.
Oh, yeah.
Do you still play that live?
Yes, that was one of our most requested songs still.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you, at the time, I thought I was much too manly of a man to be singing a sensitive song such as that. But they really had to talk me into cutting that song.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Don Cook wrote that song with another friend of mine, Jim McBride, and Sam Hogan, I believe, was on that one too. But I didn't want to record that song at that time because I just thought it was a little too poppy for my taste at the time. And I was really into Waylon and Merle and Bo Cephas and just the harder stuff is what I was into.
Yeah.
And we ended up recording it, and just, again, thank God that I did, because I love that song now. And it was a big hit for us.
It's funny when you said like back then in 96 or 95, how you said it, you felt like it was a little too poppy, but looking back 30 years ago, it's like classic country.
Absolutely. That's mainstream country for that time.
No doubt, man.
We ended up recording a really country version of it. And,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was that song, the original. I mean, when it was first written, it was a lighter treatment even than what we did to it. So, we really, like I said, the band involved with that, Lonnie Wilson, Michael Rhodes, Brent Mason, Bruce Boughton.
So Brent Mason was involved in your career.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've made a career out of trying to play like Brent Mason. And
Man,
I've never ever gotten even a tenth of what that guy can.
Don't sell yourself short.
No, man. I honestly, there are several guitar idols of mine that I really, really have studied their stuff.
And he really is, huh?
Oh my gosh, that guy. And I love him too. He's a great guy. Brent Mason is a great guy.
Yeah.
Fantastic. He's always been very patient and helpful.
He's respected.
He plays on all my stuff now. And,
did he play on this last record?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
He's playing all the records.
Oh, nice.
Brent Mason and me. So.
Shoot, man. That's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
See, I love stuff like that. I like giving Brent his shout out because sometimes they are unsung heroes.
Yeah, they're fantastic. And Lonnie Wilson, another one that played on my first record, played on this record.
And I'm not as familiar with Lonnie. You said Lonnie Wilson?
Yes, he's played on a ton.
Oh, okay.
All of the Brooks and Dunn records.
Yeah.
That's him playing. Most of the people in the 90s that were huge, that's Lonnie playing drums on them. And Lonnie's written a bunch of tunes well for other artists. He was heavily involved with Joe Diffie. And he and Joe were big buddies.
Mm-hmm.
And they wrote a lot of Joe's stuff together.
That's awesome. This will prove my 90s nerdum. Ronnie Dunn produced an album on you, didn't he?
He sure did. With Terry McBride. With Terry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Tore Up from the Floor Up?
No.
Was that same album?
No, it was, I want to say Highways and Heartaches. Something. I think that was the name of it. But Ronnie Dunn and Terry McBride produced that together.
Nah, I did. You should have said that a while ago when I was bragging on Terry.
Oh,
shoot.
Yeah, he's
there. Okay, Highways and Heartaches. Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
That's how far we go back, and Terry.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Really, really good friends, because Ronnie, I didn't know it at the time, but I was touring with Brooks and Dunn a lot back then.
Yeah.
And Ronnie really is the one who introduced me to Terry. And Terry and I ended up getting really tight.
Yeah.
After that, so we still hang out with him, and we've got a show coming up together in Minnesota here in a couple months.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Is it him or McBride and the Ride?
McBride and the Ride.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a great night.
Yeah, man. I had my McBride and the Ride Hurry Sundown tape when I used to ride my lawnmower around 9 or 10 years old in the country. I'd ride that lawnmower, put my McBride and the Ride on.
Oh, hey, I still, Terry does solo projects still.
Oh, yeah.
For a few years, and they're great. He's singing better than ever.
He sounds incredible. I've listened. Yeah, but you are too, man. I've let's see, was it earlier this week? I was listening to something you did acoustically on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, that's just, I've been trying to think of interesting things, because I've run out of, I stay in trouble constantly with my social media people and my manager because I don't post enough.
Yeah.
I just don't see myself that way as, like, who gives a crap what I'm doing in the day? they want me showing when I'm going out messing with the cows or whatever, that's so I do. And I live on a little farm here in Tennessee. And so I try to think of interesting things to do to even, it just seems so narcissistic to me.
It does. I know.
But they are like, you got to post more. You got to post more. So that was just my attempt to post more. And so I thought, I will keep doing. I mean, I've got a ton of songs written that I'll probably start doing that maybe once a week or something. An original tune.
I was pulling it up. That's one you wrote, though, right?
Yeah. That was a tune called "The Present."
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the last tunes one of the last 2 or 3 tunes I've written. I wrote that a couple months ago.
Oh, nice. So that's not on the record yet.
No, that's a brand new tune.
Now what is this? So you got a Bible verse in the New Country Faith book.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Deborah Evans Price is a good friend of mine. She writes all those books.
Yeah.
Country faith books, and she's a great author. And she did that and asked me to be a part of it.
That's awesome.
I guess the Romans 8:28 was my choice for that book.
Oh yeah.
All things work to the good for those who love the Lord and are called according to His purpose. And I've certainly lived that verse. And
was that
a lot of stuff that turned out to be pretty good. So.
Was that a verse that really was important for you during the cancer battle?
It's a verse that's been important through several battles.
Yeah.
And not only that one, but several. And it seems to always ring true.
And you're healthy. You're doing great now, aren't you?
I'm doing good. I'm just getting old. I'm getting a little crotchety.
You ain't old.
Hey, I was telling Brian, I'm probably going to tell this to him when I'm on stage. He's getting ready to turn 50.
I know. I talked to him about it.
Yeah. So he's turning 50 actually the night that we're inducting him into the Oklahoma.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And I'm probably going to tell him from the stage, when you hit 50, I hope you have enjoyed this. When you hit 50, the check engine light comes on, brother. And that is no BS, my friend. Things started changing, I noticed, when I turned 50. So, yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing good, and I've got no complaints. Well, I do, but I'm sure not going to air them. So. I'm thankful. Everything's good.
I hope Brian gets a couple of wrinkles when he turns 50.
Man, I hope he's that little fart just keeps getting more handsome. I swear. He's a great singer and just a super nice guy. And
are y'all touring any together this year?
Do what now?
Are y'all going to tour together any this year? Like y'all did a few years ago with Daryl.
Yeah, we've done a bunch of stuff together.
Yeah.
We come up with. I know we'll do 2 or 3 shows.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be a tour or anything.
Right.
Like that.
What was that tour like with Daryl?
It was
a lot of fun?
He's another guy he's a great, can't say enough good things about him.
Yeah.
And he's a super talented guy, smart guy.
Yeah.
Songwriter, and always, got his eyes open looking for the next thing. And he's a great guy and a talented guy. And I'm glad to see he's still around doing it.
I know. I'm glad to see all y'all are still around doing it.
Me too.
Now the set list, how has it changed a little with this new record?
Yeah. We're doing. I think we've added certainly Slow Hand, and I like Whiskey River live a lot.
Oh gosh, I got to hear you play that live. That'd be awesome.
That's a lot of fun, and I'm trying to think of. I think those are probably the only 2 we do for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's a big band playing with me, we'll do Milk Cow Blues. And, but I'm trying to think if there's anything off that record that other than those 2 for sure that we're doing. But definitely Slow Hand and
those are crowd pleasers.
Yeah,
well, are you doing Old Country Still Rocks?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Duh. Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely doing that one. So those 3 off the record, and we've got, we do all the old hits, and sometimes I'll throw some acoustic stuff in there. It just depends on what I'm feeling like. But,
I just saw this because I've heard Dwight do it. I thought dim lights, thick smoke.
Oh yeah, that's
Is that
an old. I'm sorry.
who is that an old?
Yeah, that's an old tune. Yeah, and actually Vern Gosdin had a record on
Okay.
that as well, but
Shoot
it's older
fire.
than him. And
Well, daggone.
yeah, everybody's done that song.
I didn't know that.
Great honky tonk tune, but I
Okay.
love Vern Gosdin's version of it. Yeah,
Oh, I bet.
killed it.
Yeah, he's hard to beat. Man, I love all the old guys.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Johnny Lee. Speaking of Johnny Lee, he's announced his last year, his farewell tour.
Yep, I played his last show with him in Branson a couple of months ago.
Oh, he's done now.
No, he's still touring this year.
Okay, so
but this
been
I
in
think this
Branson.
will be his last year.
yeah,
And,
I thought.
Yep, and he and I have been friends for a long time, and he's been very, very good to me.
Yeah,
And, he's getting around a little slower these days, but he still loves it, and people love that guy. I mean,
do they?
I've been doing shows with him literally for 30 years,
Yeah,
and I've never seen anything like it. He can do no wrong. He's funny as hell, and he's charming, and he can get away with literally anything. I've seen him do it time and time and time again, and people just love him. And hell, I do too. I love him. He's been a great friend to me. I love him.
I'm hoping to have him on this year sometime.
Hey, he'll keep you laughing. He's a good guy. He's funny. He's a stinker. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love having those guys on, man. I had Tigger and Brown on a few weeks ago.
That's another one.
He had me laughing, and and his voice, dude, is still it's insane.
Singing his tail off.
Yes,
I've done several shows with T. Graham, and he is one of my favorites.
Literally. Oh man,
he can roar still. Very strong, always on pitch.
Yeah, and
there's no kidding with him. He's fantastic.
Oh, I love hearing that. You know who else can still sing like nobody's business is John Barry.
Yes, man, that guy's fantastic.
Golly.
I don't think John is a great singer. I don't think that he got the props that he was due because he really is an exceptional singer. He's got a different sounding voice, but when you break it down and really listen to him, that dude is a good singer. And I'm glad he's still around doing it.
Oh, me too, man. He mentored me. I toured with him for 2 years.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
yeah,
fun.
Yeah. I grew up in Athens, Georgia, where he's from, and so I've known him and Robin for forever.
Yeah.
So
T. Graham's another Georgia boy.
He is. Oh yeah. I live up close to. You're familiar with Blairsville, Georgia? It's right about Hiawassee.
Okay, I know where Hiawassee is. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you play. Yeah, you played at Hiawassee, Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds.
Yes, and
Anderson Music Hall.
Here in a couple of months. I know somewhere around there, very close. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're coming to Hiawassee?
Somewhere close to there. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, I need to check that out because I'll have to come check it out and watch the show. Yeah. Kennesaw, Georgia. That's where you're going to be.
Oh, okay. You've got
well, it's just about an hour. It's at the Governor's Gun Club.
Yep. That's what I was talking about. Yep. That's it.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's full band or if it's just you and acoustic.
I think that is playing with a house band. I think that date hasn't been there very long. I think they just confirmed that, and I think I'm playing with the band down there. But a lot of people in Nashville come down and play with that band. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So apparently they're pretty good.
I pulled that up, literally, the event organizer, Governor's Gun Club, and John Barry concert.
Oh, wow.
I know. He's going to be there March 8th, and you'll be there in April.
Perfect.
But anyway, before I let you go, let's see. God, I could talk to you forever. I have so much fun.
I really sincerely appreciate your love. I mean, I can tell you sincerely care about music and that specifically that era of music.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I really do.
I'm going to use that quote.
Good.
Okay. Billy Dean said the exact same thing. He goes, he told me I was doing my calling. He goes, Brit, you're doing your calling.
That's another. I did a tour with Billy Dean and Shenandoah last year.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah,
90 minutes in 90s country.
Yep, that's it. And
yeah,
it was a fun show.
I bet
every night. And Billy Dean and I've done a bunch of stuff. I love that guy. He's
man. Shit. He played Only the Wind. He goes, you want me to play a song for you? And I was like, yeah. So he did. He got his acoustic out and played Only the Wind. Just him and his guitar.
Yeah, he's a good player, man. He's a good
he's a good player.
That sucker can play fiddle too.
I did not know that.
Yeah, we were all backstage one. He picked up this fiddle and started sawing it, and he blew my mind. It's like, what are you doing? But it was, he's a great guy, funny and sweet guy.
Man, he's building a house right now, right on the water.
Oh,
at St. George Island.
Oh wow,
it's beautiful too.
I bet.
Golly, but he said he goes, I gotta fly out tomorrow so I can pay for it.
He's doing all right. He's doing all right.
Oh, but man, I wish you nothing but the best with this album, with this year out on the road.
Thank you.
It's
everything's going good, and I'm really, I'm a rascal. I don't deserve it, but I thank God. I'm very, very thankful for getting to play music for a living.
Yeah,
and getting to meet people like you, and
yeah,
I really appreciate it, brother.
Well, man, I love it. I'm in Nashville all the time. I'm actually we announced it yesterday, but I'm producing a documentary on Jesse Keith.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I was on the road with him and his mom, or Lori, this past weekend.
Pretty good singer.
He is, and so we become real good buddies, and so he gave me the green light. So we've been filming, and we're going to do 4 episodes that come out later this fall.
Well, good luck with that. I'm sure it'll be great.
I'm excited. Yeah. So, but it was fun catching up with Miss Lori on the bus all weekend. She was gracious and do what?
She made some great records.
Oh man, the females of the '90s made great records in general.
They did. There were some some epic records made,
and the bands, all of y'all. It's just all across. Diamond Rios, the Wade Hayeses.
Diamond Rio was fantastic,
and they still are. I saw them a few months ago up here.
Yeah. Jimmy O blows my mind, man.
I cannot believe you just brought him up. Yeah. I was in Hendersonville a couple of weeks ago at they did a tornado relief concert.
Yeah.
And I was there with Jesse, and I was talking to someone out in the parking lot, some, incredible guitarist, and his name was Matt, but I said, man, do you know who Jimmy O is from Diamond Rio? And he lit up. He's like, only one of the very best.
Yeah, he really is.
He started with this tone on that first record.
Yeah.
And it's still to this day, it's that same that same Diamond Rio sound.
His guitar sounds as good as anybody's I've ever heard in my life. I mean, I heard something he did online recently.
Yeah,
it was as good as anything I've ever heard in my life.
I saw it. If it's because I follow him on Facebook, I had to have seen it.
He does little snippets on there all the time, and it's just, golly, he's good.
If you've ever been, I know you have, anywhere you see him at a concert, a festival, all day long, he's got his guitar. He's just picking.
Oh yeah, yeah. To be as good as he is, you must have to have it on that much. But he's.
But you are too, man. Don't sell yourself short.
Hey, I play my stuff okay. I like to do my stuff, but those guys they're so innovative and just intelligent and masters of their instrument. They really are.
Well, and I'll let you go after this, but I just thought of this. I was at CMA Fest in, I think it was 2013 or 2014 with John, and it was inside the Hall of Fame, wherever they do fanfare now, and and they had an Opry stage, And I remember because John played it, and then you played it too that day. You and I think a fiddle player.
Yep, yeah, I remember.
So
that.
I just thought of that. Yeah, but man, you're killing it. You're crushing it that day.
Well,
now,
I used to do those acoustically. The last few years, we've done a full band. We're doing the bigger stages downtown now.
Right.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I miss those days.
Man, that fiddle with an acoustic sounded. That was sweet music right there, man. That just
had a lot. Thank you. I appreciate
that. It was like it just flowed so well.
Well, I'll be sure and tell her. I know exactly who was song that day, so I'll be sure and tell her.
Oh, Wade, thank you so much, man. I can't wait to see you if I run into you this year. I'll be sure to come up and say hey.
Hey, man, I'm going to hold you to that. You better. I'd really appreciate that. I'd like to shake your hand.
Heck yeah, man. But if heck, I might come down to Kennesaw. It's only an hour away.
Let me know.
Yeah, I will.
I'll put you on the guest list, brother.
Heck yeah. All right, Wade. I'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye.
They say don't get too close to the fire. I might get burned a little, but I don't mind. I need your love. Baby, I need you. You've got those rosy lips. You've got that smile. I can't contain it, honey. You